All righty. Well, welcome everybody. I am streaming onto my Growth Junkie business page, and I'm excited because I don't do this a lot, but I needed to bring my dear friend, fabulous coach into my space with my peeps so that you could learn more about her and what she has and what we can create together as a group. And I know that you are all busy. You're going to be streaming through this and you're going to see us pop up. I've already put a link up if you would like to join what it is that we're talking about today, a fun masterclass on joyful money mindset with Dara. So the link is already up. And I invite you to come back and watch the recording if you need to a little bit later, because we got some juicy, juicy, fun stuff that we're going to talk about. So with that, settle in here and let me introduce Dara a little bit. So Dara Hinshaw, my dear friend, as a joyful money mindset coach, Dara Hinshaw has introduced and transformed her financial life and now empowers others to do the same. With an inspiring journey of paying off nearly $160,000 in debt in 22 months. Let me repeat that. Paying off nearly $160,000 in debt in 22 months. Dara knows firsthand the power of a positive mindset and strategic financial planning. Her dedication to self-improvement by investing in herself through books, financial classes, business coaches has led her to a debt-free and abundant life. Passionate about assisting women to achieve financial clarity and joy, Dara delivers actionable strategies, mindset shifts, and paves the way for financial freedom. She believes in the power of purpose-based finances and is committed to guiding others to live their own debt-free and joyful lives. So with that, Dara, we do have a little bit of a delay, so we're going to be patient and work with that. But welcome, welcome, welcome. Before we get started, is there anything you wanted to, there's your introduction. And is there anything you want to add before I get into my questions?
I just want to say thank you so much for having me on today. I have been with you for so long. I remember when you started this page. And so I'm so honored to be here today and just to have this opportunity to share with your group and your clients just a little bit more of a mindset shift. That's what you do. You help us do that. And you've been helping me for over, almost 5 years. It's crazy.
I know, it's crazy. It's awesome. It's awesome. So that's why I chose to bring Dara into my world so that she can share just some magical. The thing is money can be joyful, but it's not normally. It's usually heavy and scary and so forth. But with Dara, it is not. And so with that, I'm going to pop through some questions, have you answer them. And then the link is already up for people to learn a little bit more about the fun class you have coming up. So the class that you do have coming up is called Drowning in Debt, 3 Keys to Resurface with Clarity, Confidence, and Hope. Okay, and that will be on Sunday. And my questions like right now, just to kind of get started, is how did you come into the work? And what are you doing with women who are overwhelmed with money and debt?
Yeah. So, well, I was the one drowning in debt. I think that's how most of us come to most of the things that we end up assisting others to in our lives and in our lifetimes is I was the woman who found myself after a bankruptcy with my first husband, divorced and single with a mortgage and a car payment and over 6 figures in debt, crying at my kitchen table one night and thinking, what in the world am I going to do to get out of this mess? And knowing after drying my eyes and taking a lot of deep breaths, knowing that I was the only one that could do that for myself. It really was up to me. And that's kind of when I dove in, and I had I had a lot of books on my shelf. Some of you may too. And I found some classes to take and worked with business coaches like Lene. Lene has been one of my business coaches through this transition from being in six figures of debt to living a debt-free and abundant life and growing my wealth. And so I have kept quiet. This is something that I have done for, I've been debt free over 2 years, and working that 22 months. If you put all that together, it's right at 4 years. And I thought, why am I being silent about this? I don't know if some of your followers know, but 78% of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck. That means 8 out of 10 families on your street are barely making ends meet. We're not talking about like they're just paying the bills. And so I thought, I felt selfish, Lene, if I can say that. I felt selfish kind of keeping it to myself. And I thought, I had so much shame and guilt around my story. And I thought, I've never wanted to regret anything in my life. I want that time to be redeemed and reused for good. And so I thought, why not reach out? And I've been an entrepreneur for over 30 years. So why not? Why not help more women entrepreneurs out there? And network marketing, been in network marketing almost 3 decades as well. So lots of assistance and support that I wish I had 25 years ago. Going in. And so, but yeah, so why now? It's time to really step up and assist more people to living financially free. It's the greatest life.
Yeah. And it is time. Talk to everybody, or talk to me and the world. When it comes to, a lot of us have been in network marketing, self-employed my entire life as well. It's kind of a little bit, I don't know if the word epidemic, but it's like become the normal that women that are in business are in debt and they're hiding and not talking about that. Yeah. I mean, I see it with clients 100%. All day long, 100%. And so one of our biggest gifts to contribute to everybody is like, you're only as sick as your secrets. And what if you tapped in just a little bit with Dara and we started to have you open up, that can expand your business when you get honest. Tell me more about what you've experienced. Like once you get that top layer of shame, guilt, whatever it is that you've created as your reality, how did that help? I mean, when you just get to be finally safe and honest with somebody.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think, that night at my table, just sitting there, realizing that the shame and the guilt and all of that, even though I felt alone in the moment, and I think a lot of us women out there, doing the hustle and doing whatever it takes to get food on the table and the kids, to school and to bed, and make sure our husbands, when we're juggling all of those things, we can feel really alone and isolated. And that's how I felt. But what I perceived and what I began to understand is that if I turn the lights on, I can see like all the things, right? Like in the dark and in the shame and in the guilt, that's all that can breed is more of that. And I knew I needed a shift and a change. And so to put light on it, to look at it, to write it down. And by the way, money is not a math problem. And anyone that knows me knows that math was not my best strong suit in school. I have no accounting degrees, nor do I want an accounting degree. God bless all of you who have accounting degrees. But money is truly a relationship and a mindset. And so just being willing, I was willing, and I was sick and tired of being sick and tired of being fed up with all of this going on. And I just got to the point where I was willing to be willing to look at it.
And that's a key, willingness. And you mentioned something that I know also is that what is your relationship with money? And when we start to, being an energetic coach, and that's a lot of what Dara also brings to the strategic part of money, but also the full expansion of the being willing to be conscious of the relationship you have with money and dissolving that and being willing to come out of the fear of that old relationship, because gosh knows we have many stories that we live in with our money, and that's the
Yeah,
relationship you've
totally.
created. I just know that's the gift that you have working with women in business, is how to recreate, to have that healthy, debt-free relationship with money and all of that. Anything else you want to speak to with that? Like, tell me a little bit more. You do have a class, master class, 90 minutes coming up on. Tell me a little bit more. It's coming up, and what will you be talking
It's
about?
on, it's gonna be, yeah, it's gonna be this coming Sunday, September the 8th. And
Okay.
for my girlfriends on the East Coast, it's at 6 p.m. For my girlfriends in Central, it's 5. For my Mountain, it'll be 6. No, it'll be 4.
Three for
Sorry,
me.
Mountain. Pacific is 3. Yeah.
Three.
So it's
Got it.
3 on the West Coast and 6 on the East Coast,
Got it.
and 5 o'clock. I live in the hill country of Texas. So yeah,
Texas.
it'll be
Is it
5 o'clock.
recorded? Is it recorded if they can't join
It will be
live?
recorded. So here's the fun thing. If you can't join live, you do need to register for the event so I can send you the recording. So
Exactly.
I know I've got people all over registered. So go grab the link. It is totally free. And I'm going to be going over basically kind of 3 keys, kind of like an overview to help you with clarity, gaining a little bit of confidence to get started, put one foot in front of the other, and then some hope. And that's really, I really feel like if I can equip you with that, that you're going to have a way forward. And I call it drowning in debt because that's how I felt. I mean, like, I literally couldn't breathe. It was that devastating when I looked at everything. And I heard my grandmother say, if you got yourself into it, you can get yourself out of it.
Right.
So
And you had to
God bless the wisdom of our grandparents.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I do know that one of the things that you embrace, and we've learned together, that to be that the feminine energy that we are. A lot of us have done it hard, done it strong, done it privately, done it we've done it. And there's a new space to be, especially with money. And the feminine part, don't let me throw that anybody off of, it's like that, but there's a masculine part to money, and there's a masculine part to be with money. Tell me how your coaching, which I know it is, really addresses it completely different. Tell me more about that.
Yeah. So thanks to all these years working with Lene, I'm gonna give her some kudos here. If you haven't worked with her privately or one-on-one, I highly recommend it. If you haven't jumped into one of her classes, I will tell you the 2 first classes that I took with her were words, learning the actual energetic meaning behind words, and money. Those were my first 2 classes with her. And I had begun to climb out of this debt before I met Lene in this work. She and I were in another line of work together. And so when she called me and said, I'm doing this, I was very curious and I wanted to know more. And so I had begun my climb out. And what happened was, when I learned about the energetic motion and flow behind word choice, and when I took her money class and I learned about the energetic flow of money, it was like, and I'm not even kidding, it was like, I think that's why I was able to do it quicker than other people, because I understood the power, which can be masculine, the transactional part of money can be extremely masculine. But what I was able to do was use the feminine parts of me that desired more. And I knew what was required of me. And I didn't want lack. I wanted abundance. I had grown up in scarcity, and I wasn't going to choose scarcity anymore. Just learning those kind of things to dance with, I was able to wrap a different language around my money story. And I was able to, and I'm actually, thank you for this, Lene. I'm actually going to talk about that at the very top of my talk on Sunday. I'm going to talk about where we get currency and money, where that comes from, the masculine side of it and humans. I'm going to talk about that in my talk on Sunday. But I really and truly, one of the things that I did not know how to do, y'all, I grew up in a home where there was never enough. And as soon as it came in, it went out. So I had never been able to, if y'all can put your hands out in front of you, I had never been able to receive and hold money. I had never been able to receive and hold money. And I started with a $5 bill. I kept a $5 bill in my wallet just to learn to receive and have and keep and be with money. I know that might sound ridiculous, but I'm telling you, that $5 in my wallet changed my life.
Yeah.
Really and truly. And that's really the feminine side, is being in touch with the knowing and the accounting part of it, the math part of it. That's a very masculine transactional part of it. The emotion, the energy, and the mindset. That's the feminine part that I really coach to.
Yeah, absolutely. The feeling, I love that. So, and mine was $20. I started with 20 in my wallet, and then I went and spent it.
I moved up to 20, but I had to start with 5.
Right. And that's all about the energetics of what she teaches with money, is that I couldn't even hold on. It was 15 minutes and I had spent that $20. So that was tight. And I mean, literally, I taught the class, and then I put the money, and then I went and spent it 50. And that was all about not being able to literally femininely receive that money and hold on to it. So I know that's one of the gifts of the way that you are. That's why you're joyful mindset.
Yes.
Coach, because money is not crunchy. Well, it is until it isn't. And so I know that's what Dara brings to it. Yep. I've dropped the link. I would love to know an example. I know I'm putting you on the spot here in that sense of like something that one of your clients has experienced. What were they doing, and now what are they doing differently after working with you?
Okay. So we're going to call her Diane. Okay.
Okay.
To keep it real. We're just going to call her Diane. One of my clients, we had what I call my mindful money breakthrough session, which is your first free session with me. And she was really excited and all about it. And we started to dive in, and I asked her about her finances with her husband. And she said, well, he takes care of all of that. And I said, but do you know what all of that is? And she said, no. And I said, well, does he know what all of yours does? And she said, no. And I said, just thinking you guys are spending a lifetime together, it might be worth having a conversation about what your business is doing, what his business is doing, and this household that y'all are sharing, and you're married, and it's all together. And so what was so fun is it just hadn't even dawned on her to even have that conversation, because she was in her world doing her thing. He's in his world doing his thing, and he's taking care of her. And for her, that was a new experience. And I will tell you, I'm now married to the love of my life, and I had never had a man that loved me enough to care for me. So I resonated with her on that level, because we both were now in very healthy, spiritual, emotional, and financially brilliant marriages, but they just hadn't brought their money story together. And so it was the cutest thing. She went to him they sat down at the kitchen table. He was like, and he's like he's what we would call the nerd, and she would be the spender. So, and that's kind of a fun, like, I'm the nerd in my marriage. My husband's the spender. I'm a recovered spender.
Right. Well,
If I'm being honest. But my
Yeah.
point is, like, she was so excited to tell me he brought all these grids to the table, and they were like color coded, and like he's got the emergency fund set to the side, and like he's paying it down, and like they're having these amazing conversations. And so for my married gals that have been keeping it all to the side, it's really beneficial when you have a partner, whether it be an actual married spouse or a partner that a life partner that you've been with, having those conversations. What can happen is then you expand actually your income and your influence with one another and in your community and in your family and all that good stuff. A lot of people feel like it's restrictive to have those conversations. But if you can come from a place of like curiosity about, oh, I didn't realize you're really taking care of all that, babe. I love you so much. Thank you. I had no idea. Because what if, like, have you talked about life insurance? Have you talked about your wills? And I mean, now that's all deep stuff that we get to later. Right now, I'm really focused on helping women get out of debt. But my point is to have those conversations. It was the joy that she had when he came to the table with everything color coded and highlighted, and then she could sit down and they could do it together. And so that brings me joy as her coach that they're having these amazing conversations and they're leveling up their life in every way now because they're having these open and honest and amazing conversations. So,
well, she sounds
that's
pretty
one
awesome.
story.
Yeah, that Diane girl sounds
She
pretty
does.
awesome. This is
That Diane girl, I tell you.
That Diane girl. I kind of relate to her a little bit. I think a lot of us do. So as we get kind of ready to wrap up, I will say with your offer for Sunday for your, I'm going to call it a workshop because they're actually going to go through some little practices with you. But I did one of your mindset calls. What did you call it? Mindful money discovery
It's
calls?
a money mindset breakthrough session.
A breakthrough session.
Money mindset breakthrough. Yeah.
Money mindset. And that's like when you get an opportunity to talk to a coach, we all kind of do it. It's like, let's tap into each other and see what's available here. That call with you that you do as part of your thing was so eye-opening and everything. So I always invite everybody, please don't be afraid to have that conversation with a coach. It doesn't mean you've locked your life down by any means, but if you're willing to hear something different, it will create something different. So I just encourage everybody to always take a coach up on that offer. So as we wrap up, my last question is there's women going to be going, yes, 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 yes. They know this is what they need. They know they're going to hit fear. They're going to hit the energies that come into the world. Cause that's So what's your words of encouragement for all of those that are like, yes. And then all of a sudden all the energy sets in. What can you say to them about showing up or whatever?
So I just want to, I want you to know, I get you. And I want you to know that I see you. And I want to be able to hear you. And in order for me to be able to truly see you and truly hear you, my desire is that you show up on Sunday. And if you can't, grab the link, register. The tickets are free. Okay, register, and I'll make sure you get the recording, and the link will be in there after that to grab your money mindful breakthrough session. And what I want to invite you to do, and right now I have my hands like this because this is our wall that we put up. This is the wall that we put up. Fear, doubt, shame. I mean, let me tell you, I had some walls. Okay, I had some walls I couldn't even get on my tippy toes to see over. And so what I want to invite you to do right now is I want you to just let all the shame, the guilt, the fear, I want to invite you to just let it melt. Bring that wall down. And I want to invite you to just a one-on-one, heart-to-heart space where it's a safe space. There is nothing you could possibly do with money that I haven't already screwed up doing, including a bankruptcy that I hid with everything I had for 2 decades.
Wow.
So I want to invite you, just let your wall down. I want you to know it's going to be a really safe space. I'm actually leaving the last half hour just for Q&A, Lene. I don't know if I told you that, but I'm going to be covering, I'm going to be covering that confidence and clarity and hope. I'm going to be covering that the first like 45 minutes. We're going to talk about the mindful money breakthrough session and how to get linked up with that. And then I'm going to go into a Q&A. And so I just want to invite everyone, if there's something knocking at your heart, because this is not, I'm going to tell you, if you're watching this and if you're going to go grab a ticket for Sunday, you've already shut down the brain and you're in your heart, because you know that where you are is not okay. And so I just want to invite you to meet me heart to heart, and I will join you there. And like I said, there's nothing you could say to me or share with me that I probably haven't already screwed up myself. So congratulations, you're totally normal. And most of all, sitting at my dining table, I felt so alone. I knew I wasn't, but I felt that way. And so my commitment is to creating a feminine community where we can have these conversations with no judgment.
That's the key. Yeah.
So
with that, you're welcome. One of the things I say with my clients is it's just barriers down. It's just the barriers down. They're walls, but it's all energy, which we've attached to these emotions and these feelings. So barriers down. And I wonder how much that we can create. I will be in that class. We can create together so that it is truly a no judgment place. So you can actually have the space and the ease to be debt free. And and it changes everything in your life. And it's a step process. So you have to be willing to show up for the steps.
Can I say,
yes.
Can I say one more thing?
Of course.
So the reason I chose Joyful Money Mindset is because, and Lene knows me very well, but none of you might know me that are watching this, but I don't want to do anything if it's not fun. And so if you're looking for like a money guru that's going to make you do this and this and that, I am not your girl. But if you want to learn how to have fun along the journey, how to find joy in every penny you save and every penny you earn and every penny of debt you pay off, I'm your girl. We are going to do this together. We're going to lock arms. We're going to walk this out. It is a journey, and I am committed. I am committed to getting women out of debt within 2 years, 24 months. We're going to get you out.
Yeah, and you will. So, Dara, thank you. We have put the links up, and of course, if you miss it or something, just message me or message Dara. You know how to find me, and I'll get you the link. But I'm excited. And what you're creating, and the new journey that you get to bring.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so honored. I've wondered if Lene would ever ask me to come onto her page, so I'm so honored. Thank you.
It's an honor both ways. All righty, everybody. Thank you for staying, and we are so excited to see what we can all have and create together. All righty. Talk to you later. Bye.
See you Sunday.